Next, we have BYU. BYU is coming off an 11-2, 7-2 season where they did not make the Big 12 championship game because there was a four-way tie at 7-2 conference play with the Big 12. But they were right there. They just did not own the tiebreaker to make the Big 12 title game. They won the Alamo Bowl, however, against the team that they were tied against, Colorado, which is absolutely crazy, in my opinion. They won 36-14, dominated that game. They bring back 9 starters, 6 on offense, 3 on defense. It was 10 until the Jake Retzlaff situation happened again, which Jake Retzlaff has now transferred after being cleared. Any wrongdoing. The only wrongdoing he did was, being at the school that holds values and breaking those values. But he did nothing illegal. So he just left and walked on to Tulane. Heard he's been doing well at Tulane, by the way, so shout out to him. But they do return L.J. Martin, the running back, 137 carries, 718 yards, 5.2 a carry, and 7 touchdowns. Chase Roberts, a wide receiver who had 52 catches, 854 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And Darius Lassiter, 45 catches, 703 yards, and 4 touchdowns. On defense, they return Isaiah Glasker, a linebacker who had 70 total tackles, 42 solos, 3.5 sacks, 4 pass breakups, 3 interceptions, touchdown, and 4 fumble. Tanner Wall, a safety who had 53 total tackles, 31 solos, a pass breakup, and 3 interceptions. And Jack Kelly, a linebacker who had 50 total tackles, 33 solos, 5 sacks, a pass breakup, an interception, 2 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery. Now, again, they lost Jake Retzlaff, the quarterback, due to that situation, who had 213, 368, 2,947 yards, 57.9 completion percentage, 20 touchdowns and 12 interceptions, who had 417 yards on the ground and 6 touchdowns on the ground. Again, transferred to Tulane. Lost Keelan Marion, a receiver who had 24 catches for 346 yards and a touchdown, transferred to Miami University, the U. Harrison Taggart, a linebacker who had 69 total tackles, 34 solos, a sack, 3 pass breakups, an interception, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery, transferred to Cal. Tyler Beatty, an edge rusher who had 59 total tackles, 33 solos, a sack and a half, 2 pass breakups, 2 interceptions, onto the NFL, trying to make the Vikings. Mark Collins, a cornerback who had 24 total tackles, 16 solos, 8 pass breakups, and 2 interceptions. Jacob Robinson, a cornerback who had 43 total tackles, 28 solos, 5 pass breakups, 3 interceptions, forced fumble, and a fumble recovery, trying to make the 49ers. They were 59th in the overall recruiting class, 83rd in transfers. They bring in guys like Carson Ryan, a tight end who had 10 catches for 113 yards and a touchdown from Utah. They bring in Keanu Tanavasa, transfer from D lineman, who had 16 total tackles, 8 solos, a sack, and 4 pass breakups. Now, BYU, they're normally just, made through BYU. They go on their little mission, they come back, and they just come ready to ball. They come disciplined. They play sound football. They're going to be really tough. They're not going to make many mental mistakes. You have to just straight up beat BYU. And this is going to be one of those teams, again, where you're just going to have to straight up beat a well-coached BYU team. Now, to get 2 transfers in the BYU-Utah rivalry is crazy, but hey, they got them. They were 59th in total offense last year, 13th in total defense, 60th in passing, 68th in rushing, 40th in scoring offense, 20th in passing defense, 33rd in rushing defense, and 18th in scoring defense. Again, just a really good football team. You're just going to have to beat them with sound football. Let's get into the schedule where they play Portland State. Have that as a win at home. At home against Stanford, I have that as a win. On the road against East Carolina, I have that as a win. On the road against Colorado, I actually have this one as a loss. Funny enough, and I think the Buffs, they remember that beating that BYU put on them, and I think them being at home, I think they'll try to avenge that one. At home against West Virginia, I have that as a win. On the road against Arizona, I have that as a win. At home against Utah in this rivalry, I have that as a win. On the road against Iowa State, I have that as a loss. On the road against Texas Tech, I have that as a loss. At home against TCU, I have that as a loss. And I have them finishing at home against Cincy on the road at Cincy with a win, and at home against UCF with a win, going 8-4, 5-4 in conference play. Having another solid season, not as great of a season the year prior, but a solid season, earning a solid bowl, 8, potentially 9 wins if they win the bowl game season. I think that's a great year for BYU.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, And also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.